Today is February 3rd, 2026, and if you're Haitian with temporary protected status, what happens in the next few hours could completely change your life. A federal judge just made a crucial decision that affects over 350,000 people. If you have TPS, know someone with TPS, or you're tracking immigration policy changes, the next 10 minutes could be critical. I'm going to break down exactly what happened, what it means, and what you need to do right now. This isn't speculation. This is happening today, and the clock is literally ticking. Stay with me. Welcome to US Visa Info, your trusted source for accurate, timely immigration information. I'm here to cut through the confusion and give you the facts you need to protect yourself and your family. Today's update is particularly urgent because we're dealing with a deadline that was supposed to expire at midnight tonight. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because immigration policy is changing faster than ever, and staying informed isn't optional anymore. It's essential. Let's get straight into what happened today and why it matters. What was supposed to happen today? Let me start with the background. Temporary protected status for Haiti has been a lifeline for hundreds of thousands of Haitian nationals living legally in the United States. TPS is a humanitarian program that allows people from countries experiencing armed conflict, natural disasters, or other extraordinary conditions to live and work in America temporarily. For Haitians, this protection has been extended multiple times over the years, most recently set to expire today, February 3rd, 2026, at 11:59 p.m. The Trump administration, through Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, made the decision to terminate Haiti's TPS designation. According to the official announcement, Secretary Noem determined that continuing to allow Haitian nationals to remain temporarily in the United States was contrary to the national interest. What this termination would have meant is staggering. Over 350,000 Haitian TPS holders would have lost their legal status overnight. Their work authorization would expire. They would become vulnerable to detention and deportation. These aren't people who entered illegally. These are individuals who have been living, working, paying taxes, and contributing to American communities legally for years, many of them in essential industries. The impact would have been particularly severe in certain sectors. According to immigration advocacy organizations, a significant portion of TPS holders work in healthcare and elder care. They're nurses, home health aides, and caregivers. They work in construction, hospitality, and food services. In cities like Miami, where Haitians make up a substantial part of the workforce, economists warned that ending TPS would deliver a serious blow to the local economy. But here's what changed everything today: the federal court decision. Just hours before the midnight deadline, U.S. District Judge Anna C. Reyes of the District of Columbia issued an order that indefinitely postponed the termination of TPS for Haitians. Let me read you the key part of her ruling. During the stay, the termination shall be null, void, and of no legal effect. The termination, therefore, does not affect the protections and benefits previously conferred by the TPS designation, including work authorization and protection from detention and deportation. This is enormous. Judge Reyes didn't just delay the termination for a few weeks or months. She paused it pending full judicial review, which means this legal battle is far from over, but for now, TPS holders can breathe. In her written decision, Judge Reyes was remarkably direct in her criticism of the administration's approach. She wrote that Secretary Noem has discretion in making TPS determinations, but not unbounded discretion to make whatever determination she wants, any way she wants. The judge pointed out what she saw as contradictions in the government's reasoning. If the concern is strains on the immigration enforcement system, why turn hundreds of thousands of lawful immigrants into unlawful immigrants overnight? If the concern is economic strain, why turn employed tax-paying workers into people who cannot legally work? If the concern is healthcare system strain, why turn insured people into uninsured people? The Trump administration has already announced it will take this matter to the U.S. Supreme Court, so this is not the final word. But for today, for tonight, TPS protections remain in place. What this means right now, if you're a Haitian TPS holder, here's what you need to know immediately. Your status remains valid. Your work authorization continues. Your employment authorization document that was set to expire today now remains valid during this legal stay. You are still protected from detention and deportation based on your immigration status. However, and this is critical, you cannot assume this protection is permanent. This is a temporary legal stay while the courts review the case. The situation remains fluid and could change based on higher court rulings. Here's what you should do right now. First, make sure you have copies of all your TPS documentation, your approval notices, your EAD card, any correspondence from USCIS. Keep physical copies and digital backups. Second, if you haven't already, connect with a qualified immigration attorney or an accredited representative. Many organizations are offering free or low-cost consultations specifically for TPS holders during this uncertain time. Third, stay informed through official channels. The USCIS website has a dedicated page for TPS Haiti with the most current information. Do not rely solely on social media or unofficial sources. Immigration misinformation spreads incredibly fast, and acting on bad information can have serious consequences. Fourth, if you're working, inform your employer about the court decision if they've expressed concern about your work authorization. Show them the official USCIS guidance confirming that your EAD remains valid during the stay. The broader context. This Haitian TPS situation is part of a much larger shift in immigration policy we're seeing in early 2026. The current administration has taken an aggressive stance on what they call immigration system integrity and enforcement. We've seen expanded travel bans affecting dozens of countries. As of January 1, 2026, there are full entry bans for 19 countries and partial entry bans for 17 additional countries. We've seen USCIS pause processing for immigrant visa applications from 75 countries while conducting enhanced vetting reviews. The agency even established a new specialized vetting center in Atlanta, specifically to strengthen background checks and fraud detection. We've seen termination announcements for TPS designations for other countries as well. Somalia's TPS was terminated effective March 17, 2026. Ethiopia's TPS has also been terminated. Venezuela's TPS faced similar challenges, though court rulings have affected implementation there as well. The environment for immigrants, even those with legal status, has become significantly more uncertain. Large-scale ICE operations are underway in multiple cities. Minneapolis in particular has seen extensive federal immigration enforcement activity, leading to daily protests and significant tension between local and federal authorities. What we're witnessing is a fundamental disagreement about immigration policy, playing out in real time through executive actions, court challenges, and community resistance. The courts have become a crucial battleground, as we saw today with the Haitian TPS decision. What advocates are saying. Immigration advocacy organizations have been working around the clock on this issue. The Haitian Bridge Alliance, which brought the legal challenge that led to today's court decision, called the ruling a recognition of the grave risks Haitian TPS holders would face if forced to return, and emphasized that it ensures they can continue contributing to their communities and supporting their families. Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, co-chair of the House Haiti Caucus, has been pushing for a legislative solution. She introduced a measure to force a House vote on a bill that would require the administration to extend TPS for Haiti for 3 years. She's emphasized that extending TPS isn't just humanitarian, it's also good policy, ensuring that TPS holders who work in healthcare and elder care can continue their essential work. The proposed rule needs 218 signatures in the House to move forward through what's called a discharge petition. Whether it will get that support remains to be seen, especially in the current political climate. On the other side, the administration has defended its position by pointing to what it describes as the need for status integrity in the immigration system. They've cited Department of Homeland Security data showing that a significant percentage of individuals with various immigration statuses cannot be located at their addresses of record, suggesting systemic compliance issues. What you need to know about TPS in general. Let me take a moment to explain TPS for anyone who's not familiar with how it works, because understanding the program helps you understand what's at stake. Temporary protected status is granted by the Secretary of Homeland Security to nationals of designated countries experiencing conditions that temporarily prevent their safe return. These conditions can include ongoing armed conflict, environmental disasters like earthquakes or hurricanes, epidemics, or other extraordinary temporary conditions. When a country is designated for TPS, eligible nationals already present in the United States can apply. If granted, they receive protection from deportation and can obtain work authorization. TPS is truly temporary. It doesn't lead directly to a green card or citizenship. However, many TPS holders have been in the United States for years or even decades as their country's designation has been repeatedly extended. The program has always been somewhat vulnerable to political changes because the decision to designate, extend, or terminate TPS rests with the Secretary of Homeland Security. Different administrations have taken very different approaches. Some have been more generous with extensions, others more restrictive. Critical action steps. Let me give you a clear action plan based on today's developments. If you have Haitian TPS, verify your documents today. Make sure you know exactly when your current EAD was issued and what its original expiration date is. Under the automatic extension provisions that were in place before today's court ruling, certain EADs were already extended through February 3rd. Now, with the court stay, those protections continue. Second, document your ties to the United States. Even though the court has paused the TPS termination, it's smart to maintain evidence of your continuous residence. Keep copies of rent receipts, utility bills, employment records, tax returns, anything that shows you've been living and working here. Third, be prepared for your employment verification. Your employer might have questions. Be ready to show them the USCIS notice about the court decision and the extension of work authorization. Fourth, avoid any criminal violations. Even minor infractions can complicate your immigration status, especially in the current enforcement climate. Fifth, if you haven't filed taxes, get current on that. Tax records are important evidence of your lawful presence and employment. Sixth, consider your long-term options. While TPS provides protection, now work with an immigration attorney to see if you might be eligible for any other forms of relief or status adjustment. Some TPS holders may have other pathways to permanent residence, depending on their individual circumstances. Seventh, stay connected with community organizations and advocacy groups. They often have the most current information and can provide support and resources. And eighth, be cautious about immigration fraud. Unfortunately, times of uncertainty bring out unscrupulous people claiming they can fix your status for a fee. Only work with licensed attorneys or DOJ-accredited representatives. Looking ahead, the legal battle over Haitian TPS is far from over. The Trump administration has already indicated it will appeal today's ruling to higher courts, potentially all the way to the Supreme Court. How quickly that happens, and what those courts decide will determine what comes next. In the meantime, Haitian TPS holders have a reprieve, but this reprieve comes with uncertainty. The protection could be reversed by a higher court. Congress could pass legislation to extend or make permanent the status, though that seems politically difficult in the current environment, or conditions in Haiti could change in a way that affects the legal analysis. What's happening with Haitian TPS is also a signal about the broader direction of immigration policy. We're likely to see continued challenges to humanitarian programs, increased enforcement actions, more restrictive interpretations of existing law, and ongoing legal battles between the administration, advocacy groups, and affected communities. For anyone in the immigration system, whether you have TPS, a green card, a work visa, or you're applying for any kind of status, the message is clear. Documentation matters more than ever. Legal representation is increasingly important. Staying informed through official sources is critical, and understanding your rights and responsibilities isn't optional. Today, February 3rd, 2026, was supposed to mark the end of TPS protection for hundreds of thousands of Haitian immigrants. Instead, a federal judge stepped in at the last moment to pause that termination, providing temporary relief while legal challenges proceed. This is a developing story, and I'll be following it closely to bring you updates as they happen. If this video helped you understand what's happening with Haitian TPS and the broader immigration landscape, please hit that like button. It helps more people find accurate, reliable immigration information. Subscribe to US Visa Info and turn on notifications because immigration policy is changing rapidly and you need to stay informed. I'll be covering every significant development from visa bulletins to policy changes to court decisions. Share this video with anyone who has TPS or who's navigating the immigration system. The more people who have accurate information, the better prepared our community will be. Drop your questions in the comments below. I read every single one, and your questions help me know what topics to cover in future videos. Remember, your immigration status is too important to leave to chance. Stay informed, seek professional help when you need it, protect your documentation, and know your rights. I'll see you in the next update. Stay safe, stay informed, and stay protected. To expand on this urgent matter, let's delve deeper into the historical context of TPS for Haiti, as understanding the roots can help appreciate the gravity of today's events. The designation of TPS for Haiti originally stemmed from the devastating 2010 earthquake that killed over 200,000 people and displaced millions, leaving the country in ruins with infrastructure collapsed and ongoing humanitarian crises. Since then, extensions have been granted due to persistent issues like political instability, violence, and natural disasters such as hurricanes. Each extension has provided a temporary shield, allowing Haitian nationals to build lives in the U.S., raise families, and contribute economically. Many have children who are U.S. citizens, creating complex family dynamics that could be torn apart by deportation. The decision to terminate under Secretary Noam reflects a shift in policy priorities, focusing on what the administration views as overuse of temporary programs. Critics argue this ignores the ongoing dangers in Haiti, where gang violence, kidnappings, and economic collapse make return unsafe. Reports from human rights organizations detail how deportees face immediate threats upon arrival, with limited support from a strained Haitian government. Judge Reyes' ruling highlights these concerns, questioning whether the termination adequately considered current conditions in Haiti. Her order not only halts the termination, but also mandates that the government continue to recognize existing TPS benefits, ensuring continuity for those affected. This judicial intervention is part of a pattern seen in previous TPS cases, where courts have stepped in to block abrupt endings, citing procedural flaws or arbitrary decision-making. For instance, similar stays have been issued for TPS holders from El Salvador and Sudan in past years, setting precedents that advocacy groups leveraged in this challenge. The Haitian Bridge Alliance's lawsuit argued that the termination was motivated by bias rather than objective assessment, pointing to internal documents that suggested political influences. While the court didn't rule on the merits yet, the stay buys time for a thorough review, potentially leading to discovery of more evidence. For TPS holders, this means maintaining vigilance. Beyond the immediate steps I mentioned, it's wise to monitor your mail for any USCIS notices, as the agency may issue updated guidance in response to the court order. If your EAD is close to its printed expiration, note that USCIS has mechanisms for automatic extensions during litigation, but always verify on their official site. Employers, under I-9 rules, must accept valid documentation, so arming yourself with the latest memos can prevent workplace disruptions. In the economic realm, the contributions of Haitian TPS holders are quantifiable. Studies estimate they add billions to the U.S. GDP annually through labor and taxes, with many owning homes and businesses. Ending TPS could lead to labor shortages in key sectors, exacerbating inflation in services like caregiving, where demand is high due to an aging population. Cities with large Haitian communities, such as Boston and New York, would feel the ripple effects from reduced consumer spending to strained social services if families are separated. Politically, this issue intersects with broader debates on immigration reform. The discharge petition pushed by Congresswoman Presley represents a rare bipartisan opportunity, though in a divided Congress, gathering 218 signatures is challenging. Supporters include some Republicans from districts with significant immigrant workforces who recognize the economic benefits. Opponents frame it as rewarding temporary status indefinitely, arguing for comprehensive border security measures instead. The administration's appeal to the Supreme Court could accelerate if expedited, given the national interest claim. The court's conservative majority might scrutinize the extent of judicial oversight on executive decisions, potentially limiting future challenges. Meanwhile, conditions in Haiti worsen, with recent reports of escalated violence in Port-au-Prince, where gangs control much of the capital, displacing thousands. International aid organizations warn that forced returns would overwhelm Haiti's resources, leading to humanitarian disasters. TPS advocates urge the administration to redesignate Haiti based on these facts, but the current stance prioritizes termination. For other TPS countries, this ruling offers hope. Somalia's termination in March affects about 500 holders, many long-term residents. Ethiopia's, impacting thousands, stems from resolved conflicts per the government, though advocates dispute that. Venezuela's ongoing court battles mirror Haiti's, with stays protecting over 300,000. These parallel cases underscore the vulnerability of humanitarian protections in shifting political winds. In enforcement news, ICE's operations in Minneapolis highlight tensions, with local officials refusing cooperation under sanctuary policies, leading to federal overrides and protests. Similar actions in other cities target overstays and criminal non-citizens, but critics fear spillover to lawful immigrants. The new Atlanta Vetting Center uses AI and data analytics for fraud detection, pausing applications from high-risk countries, delaying family reunifications and skilled worker visas. Travel bans, expanded to 36 countries, include nations in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, justified by security concerns, but challenged as discriminatory. For visa applicants, this means longer waits and more documentation, emphasizing the need for early preparation. Back to TPS basics. Eligibility requires continuous U.S. residence since designation, no serious crimes, and timely re-registration. Benefits include driver's licenses in most states, but not federal aid like welfare. Many holders pursue other relief, like asylum if persecution fears exist, or family petitions if relatives are citizens. Attorneys can assess these paths, often pro bono through groups like the American Immigration Lawyers Association. Fraud alerts are crucial. Notarios or unauthorized consultants prey on fear, charging for false promises. Always check credentials via the DOJ site. Looking forward, potential Supreme Court involvement could set lasting precedents on TPS discretion, influencing future designations. Congressional action remains key for permanence, perhaps through bills like the American Dream and Promise Act, stalled but revivable. Community resilience shines through organizations providing legal clinics, know your rights workshops, and emergency funds. For Haitian Americans, cultural ties strengthen advocacy, with diaspora groups lobbying effectively. Today's reprieve is a win, but sustained engagement is vital. In summary, this court decision averts immediate crisis, but signals ongoing struggles. Stay proactive, informed, and united. Thank you for watching US Visa Info, where we deliver the facts on immigration matters that impact your life.